Happy Thursday, everybody. It's been already 2 weeks now since we haven't been able to meet together, so I decided to check in with you guys again since we can't have you tonight and do like a little mini lesson for you. Sitting outside today because it's really nice outside. Thank God at least for that. So today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about a topic that I'm sure that you guys are all aware of during this time. The quote that came to my mind when I was thinking about, or when I started thinking about what to talk about today, was the quote, "The loneliness is killing me." And if you don't recognize that, that's maybe because you're too young, but that's a Britney Spears song. But I feel like during this time, we're also isolated, and that loneliness that we feel inside of ourselves is just magnified. Sometimes we can feel lonely in everyday situations, but it's become much more apparent during this time. And I know I've felt it, and you probably have too. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So we've never had to try so hard to make connections with other people. And ironically, we've never wanted it so much before. So it's kind of like a weird thing because it's really hard for us to make those connections because we're not really allowed to see each other in the same way we normally would. But at the same time, we really want it. But during this time, we're really learning about what's really important to us. And it's crazy because a lot of those things that we found out are important to us are things that we took for granted before we even started this whole thing. Even just school, being able to do something routine every day, seeing people, connecting with people, all these different things. So I want to start by looking at Hebrews 10:24 through 25. That's Hebrews 10:24 through 25. I'm going to read it aloud to you guys, and then feel free to look it up again on your own time as well. It says, "Let us think about each other and help each other to show love and do good deeds. You should not stay away from the church meetings, as some are doing, but you should meet together and encourage each other. Do this even more as you see the day coming." That's Hebrews 10:24 and 25. So maybe we can't really meet up like we usually do, but we have to kind of think about what can we do then? How can we still meet up together like a family in Christ? And how can we still show love to each other and do good deeds to each other, even when we are apart? So it's even starting with things like this. That's why I started doing this little video every week, because we don't get to see each other. And I figured at least it's a small way we can check in with each other. And on Snapchat, interact with each other there too. Wherever you can, make connections with people. Send messages and videos, whatever you can to make those connections with people. They are so important to connect with each other during this time. So it's crazy because everyone's really sitting at home and wondering if anyone even remembers them or thinks about them or notices that they haven't seen them in forever. Do I cross anybody's mind? That those thoughts come into our mind. But we're all thinking the same thing. We're all thinking, does anyone else think about me? And it's weird because we might be thinking about other people, but we oftentimes don't do anything about it because we want to know, well, do they really care enough to say something to us? But maybe they're thinking the same thing about us. So I hope that at least this is a small something that shows that I'm thinking about all of you guys. I think about you guys all the time. I pray for you guys and try to interact with you guys if I can in any way, because I know that this is a hard time for all of us. I'm feeling it, and I'm sure you guys are too. And I want you guys to be able to share with us with whatever you might be experiencing and whatever you might be going through. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to talk to me about anything specific, of course. Galatians 6, chapter 2 says, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." So this is a time where we can offer to help each other. We can lend a hand, even if it's a virtual hand, even if it's through a video or a text or whatever it may be. But we can carry each other's burdens. We can be there for each other, and to remind ourselves that we're not alone. That even though we may be isolated, we are not alone. Romans 12, verse 10 says, "Love each other like brothers and sisters. Give each other more honor than you want for yourselves." That's Romans 12:10. And then later on in verse 15, it says, be happy with those who are happy and be sad with those who are sad. So this is a time that we can still be together. Even though we may be far apart, we can still be together. And we can think of each other and really reach out to one another and be happy with each other when we're happy, and be sad with each other as well. Feel that. Be open and honest about what we might be feeling. That's Romans 12 verses 10 and 15 is what I just read. So ironically, and this is how God works. You may not think so, but when you reach out to help other people, it somehow helps you too. You feel better when you reach out a hand to check in with someone else and see how they're doing. Or when you reach out and you try to help them, that makes you feel better too, because that's how God created us. God created us for connection. He created us to love other people. And that's necessary for us. And so when we don't have that connection, we often want other people to come to us, but surprisingly enough, us going and reaching out to other people is really what's going to make us feel more full. And it kind of gets us out of our rut. It gets us out of thinking about ourselves. So I really want to encourage you guys to do that, to look and connect with other people. Philippians 2:3-4. This is the last thing I'm going to read for you guys. Philippians 2:3-4 says, do not let selfishness or pride be your guide. Instead, be humble and give more honor to others than to yourselves. Do not be interested only in your own life, but be interested in the lives of others. So I really want to encourage you guys. That was Philippians 2:3-4. Like it says here, don't think only about yourself. Believe it or not, thinking about yourself actually makes things worse. It really does. Then we just go down this deep pit of feeling sorry for ourselves, and it just makes everything worse. So I want to encourage you guys to reach out to someone else. Think about someone else. Try to take care of someone else, and you'd be surprised at how much you're going to feel more full from that. Be interested not just in your life, like the verse says, but be interested in the lives of others and taking care of them and being there for them as well. Because they need it, just like you need it. And stretching your hand out to them is actually going to make you feel better as well. So I just want to emphasize how much we really, really, really do need each other all the time. We're made for connection. God made us that way. But specifically during this time when we're isolated, we really, really, really need that connection. So I want to encourage you guys to reach out to each other and think today, who can you reach out and check in on? Maybe someone you haven't checked in on yet, someone that you maybe would talk to at school, but you haven't talked to them since you've been home. Or maybe it's someone that you do talk to, but maybe you actually decide to reach out and say something like, how are you really doing? Or something like that, something real. So I want to encourage you guys to reach out to someone today, and you'll be surprised that you're going to find yourself feeling better as well. I'm here for you guys if you ever need me, and check in with me whenever you want. I'll be praying for you guys. Have a great week.